Will Witt, it's great to have you on American Thought Leaders.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So Will, you're working with PragerU these days. You're going out on the street, talking to folks about all sorts of interesting issues. Tell me a little bit about your work and what inspires you to do it.
The thing that inspires me to do it is that I was in college about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I actually dropped out of school to come and work for PragerU. Had to connect there and actually just made a video on my campus and sent it to PragerU. They loved it, posted it, and then kind of flew me out to LA and gave me a job, long story short. And so that's what has made me do it, is that these young people in college are so uneducated and brainwashed about everything that's going on in this country. And so I feel like when I'm going out and interviewing people and showing what's actually going on, I'm exposing the left for what it really is. And so people see my videos not just as, oh, gotcha videos. They see it in the sense of, this is what the left is doing in this country. I'm scared because of this, and so I need to fight back and do something against it. So that's what inspires me to do it.
So when you're going out there with your microphone, what are you hoping to accomplish? I think one of the last videos was, are police racist?
Yeah.
This is the question you're posing. So, for example, break down for me, what are you trying to accomplish when you go with your mic and you have this question in the back of your mind?
So we want to basically have an educated dialogue with people. So I'll say, ask people, are the police racist? What do you think of the police? What's the first word that comes to your mind when you think of the police, right? So get people's base knowledge out there, and then as you watch the video and you see, I give people a lot of facts about the police, about how they actually treat African Americans, how many shootings there are, things like that, and then they're kind of like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. And so it's not even always as important for the person I'm talking to be educated, because it is important, but it's only one person. What's really important is that we get that information out there so that people who are watching the video say, okay, this is how you have a normal conversation in America, and this is the other side that maybe I didn't hear. Because I think there's a lot of people who make kind of man-on-the-street videos or do things interviewing people who make very red meat content that is only going to hit conservatives, that's basically just like liberals suck, And that's never been what I've wanted to do. I've wanted it to be where people on the left watch my videos and say, wow, the left, they actually are kind of unhinged, or they are not that educated, and this guy is coming in calmly and giving them, all sorts of different facts and things like that, and I really respect that, and it helps them change their mind. So that's really what I'm pushing for to do.
So it's kind of creating a bit of a fishbowl experience for the audience, where they're kind of watching this process happening on camera.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's very much, and it is quite different. It's not oh, I gotcha, or something like that. There's sort of, do you feel like people sense your genuine heart to try to offer new facts and information? Are they generally receptive? I've seen different things in your videos come through, but how is it generally?
It's generally good. Generally, I'm a pretty nice, easygoing guy with people. When I go and talk to them on the street, I ask them, how are you doing? I don't do this thing called bum rushing. I don't know if you ever heard of that. That's you just run up to someone and start asking them questions.
Right.
I never do that. Always ask them and get their consent, and we talk to them calmly and cordially. It's different when I go to the marches and stuff, or the rallies.
Right.
Because it's those people are just ready to just destroy anyone who disagrees with them politically or any sort of idea.
Right.
So that's always going to be more, complicated. But when it comes to just going Venice Beach and asking about the police, everyone's pretty open, even if though I disagree with them and I talk to them about a different opinion, is no problems there really. So.
Oh, they're very, very interesting. So, and you basically, you say you dropped out of school. Was this kind of instant decision? You're at a job offer, dropping out of school, or what? Were you having second thoughts? What was the situation?
Yeah, so I was never a conservative until I went to college and saw how it was. So I went to CU Boulder. I was pretty much just my entire high school, whatever, just not political. I guess I thought Obama was cool, so obviously wasn't that smart. But I went to college in Boulder, and I just saw how terrible they were to anyone with a different point of view. And so I started researching conservative values, conservative views, and it ended up being the girl who I was dating at the time was a huge Hillary supporter. And I remember she looked at me and said, "You sound like a Trump supporter." And I was like, maybe I am. And that kind of changed my whole mind about it. And
fascinating.
And I knew I wanted to drop out of school and go and do something bigger, but I didn't really have the opportunity until PragerU really do that, as well as working with Turning Point USA. So.
What were you doing with Turning Point?
Turning Point, I was the Rocky Mountain field director before.
Okay.
So I ran the states of Colorado, Wyoming, and New Mexico for Turning Point, all the groups and campuses there.
And that's, and what when you say you ran, what does that mean?
So that means like organize the student leaders there, help them plan events, activism, help start new chapters of schools that don't have anyone, and basically manage the students. So,
Turning Point has been, playing this very significant role. We saw Charlie Kirk speak, last night about it, but I think he said it was 1,400 campuses right now. There's activity.
Yeah.
And just kind of offering the conservative viewpoint and promoting it and so forth. Very interesting. So you kind of but you were on campus. You suddenly became conservative. You realized, hey, I'm conservative.
Yeah.
You joined Turning Point. You started working very quickly. I guess you were very entrepreneurial.
Yeah,
You're like, hey,
quick.
This guy needs to be a leader in like 2 minutes, or how did?
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, I basically for all you people listening, don't do this if you're in college, but I basically just stopped going to class and started working for Turning Point and doing stuff with PragerU as well. So I was just over the school, wanted to be out of the classes, it wasn't doing anything for me. So basically my last semester here in Colorado, I was just doing political work. I don't know what it was that just went off inside of me. I can't really pinpoint the exact reason, but it was just all of a sudden I was just researching everything and becoming so strong in all my beliefs and debating every single person I saw about it, and wanting to wear my MAGA hat at school now. Is like, it just happened so fast, and it was such a weird thing.
Very interesting. And so what was your major, out of curiosity?
I was an English major.
Oh, okay.
So worthless degree.
I would certainly argue it's not.
That's fair.
Maybe it's not the number one thing that'll get you into the job market, but to read the great books.
Yes.
I don't mind you. I doubt that was your curriculum.
Yeah.
But that's something that is, I think, profoundly valuable for American youth, and I think they don't get probably enough of that.
Yeah. So I think it needs to be more responsibility on these young people to do those kind of things themselves, right? To go and learn skills and read classic literature, look at art, things like that by themselves. It shouldn't just always be the university's responsibility to do that for the students. I think students, especially going through elementary school, middle school, and high school, students need to be taught more the importance of these things, so that when they get to college, they're not just totally like left out to dry, basically, with all new opportunities that they've never heard of. They need to be kind of filtered into it better.
So tell me, what's the outlook for you in Prager, right? And working in Prager, is it basically focusing on this program? Are there any new things on the horizon that we can look forward to?
So two things. First of all, we have our lawsuit with YouTube, which is a huge deal. PragerU is suing YouTube for restricting our videos.
Yes.
And so that's coming up very quick. We have our court date set in August.
Okay.
In Seattle, I believe.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching that closely.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And so that's coming up, and that's huge and very important. In terms of what these big tech companies are doing, I think we're one of the biggest people to take the fight to them directly and to have a lawsuit and do that. And then I think in terms of the projects that we're working on is more documentary style of things, longer
More like
projects.
the tradition, more like when I think of the PragerU video, it's kind of instructional.
Yeah.
Is it? So you're going to be doing more of that in addition to the on the street?
Like the first one that we want to do is one on homelessness in California.
Okay.
And basically go and showcase the problem. Why did this happen? What can we actually do? Why are the policies that are in place right now not working, even though they're costing taxpayers billions of dollars, right? So that's kind of the first one we want to do, probably like 15 minutes long, working with that. So that's kind of the direction that we want to head in, working towards a little bit more educational stuff in a longer setting than just talking to people on the street. So that's.
Okay. But you're going to keep doing that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Still doing that.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, Will Witt, such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.